when you think about a game, right? A game is an experience. It's not a thing, right? It's an
Right.
experience. And there's three ways to have that experience. You can watch the game, you can lead the game, or you can play the game.
Mm.
Typically, when we're watching the game, we see competition.
Right.
When we're playing the game, we could also see competition, but we're also inside the experience, and so we also have teammates that
Right.
we play with, right? You and I are teammates in the game of life, not even just in business, but in the game of life. You and I are teammates, and I choose to play with you. You know, and you and I are also people who step up and we lead the game, right? We're leading the game. And you know, and I compare that to like coaches, right? Coaches are able to galvanize, you know, their team to go out and perform at the highest level. A lot of coaches these days are people who played the game. You know, they had experience playing the game, so they have also an intuitive knowledge of how to lead. Some are naturally developed or natural, but also developed leaders who
Right.
can do that. And I know mentioned previously about like the natural gifts. People do have God given talents that if they're able to leverage appropriately under the right environment, they
Exactly.
can really excel and thrive. And so there are some coaches who do that. Phil Jackson, one of the most prolific coaches of all time, played basketball, won a championship in college, played in the NBA. I think won two
Wow.
championships in the NBA,
Wow.
and then won all his rest of his championships as a coach.
Wow.
Mike Krzyzewski, one of the most prolific, you know, college basketball coaches in
Hmm.
NCAA history. I actually don't know if he's played basketball.
Wow.
I don't know. I will not say that he has or hasn't because I haven't done the research to know. But I've never heard anyone mention that he's played basketball. So my assumption is he hasn't. Yet he's able to
Wow.
coach, right? And so
Hmm.
it's about, you know, the talent, the skill, and the environment that matches. You know, I don't think Mike
Mm.
should ever coach in the NBA. You know,
Wow.
because I don't think the environment would match his ability, his skill set. You know,
Mm.
I say all that to talk about the importance of collaboration versus competition. A lot of people, I'm not going to say most because that'd be generalizing. I don't think that's fair, but there are a lot of people, including myself at one point, would adopt what I call the comparative mind. And
Mm.
the comparative mind is always sizing themselves up with someone else.
Right.
And in today's social media world, we often size ourselves up with people and their snapshot of what we see living their best life. It's the best presentation of their lives, and we're sizing ourselves up to that. What we got to realize as human beings is our natural tendency is to compare ourselves to people who we believe are better than us,
Right.
which automatically sets us up for a game we will always lose.
Mm.
Always. There's no winning
Sure.
that game, right? Yet
Hmm.
somehow we feel bad if we were to walk down the street, see a homeless person, and feel good about our position, where we are in the world. Somehow we were taught to feel bad about that,
Right.
right? Yet that's a game that we can play and see ourselves as not better, just more fortunate. We
Right.
can be grateful, right?
Hmm.
And so when we compare ourselves, we lose. The only
Right.
instance in which we can win that game is if we compare ourselves to our previous selves.
Mm.
If we're making
I
effort
love that.
to make ourselves better every day, even if it's just 1%, we can have a win. We can win that game of comparison. And I'll get into the
Yeah.
1%
Hmm.
idea in a bit. But when we can see other people and see them as human beings that have value to bring into the world, and you as a person who has value to bring into the world and can be of service. This is what gets you out of the fixed mindset, right? The
Hmm.
scarcity mindset and into a
Yep.
place of abundance. What can I do to help this person live their life with more purpose and passion? They
Sure.
have it, they want it. How can I support them in doing that? I can only see you as a teammate. I can
Right.
only see you as a teammate. I didn't used to have this. When I was in the
Wow.
dating industry was very cutthroat, very competitive.
Sure.
Yeah, I think it has evolved to be more collaborative, which is amazing to see. But that is how we all get to be successful in this world. We don't
Mm.
compete with each other. We collaborate. We work together because then we both win.
Yeah.
You know, someone doesn't have to lose for someone else to win. But we
Mm.
have naturally thought or have been programmed to believe that that is the case. I don't believe
Right.
that's the case. Stephen Covey said it himself. There's a win-win methodology to relationships and communication. It doesn't always have to be win-lose or
Right.
lose, even though those scenarios do exist. And so I always believe that it's important to get to a place where you're removed from competition and you see it as a collaborative experience. Now, certain
Mm.
environments are not conducive to that, right? If you're playing sports and you're
Sure.
competing, like you have to have that mindset. But if you're in an environment where there's no one to compete against your, except for yourself, you will set yourself up for wins every single day, which will naturally boost your self-esteem.
Mm.
You will naturally see that like social media is not something that you should be consuming on a regular basis, because studies have now shown that that will lower your self-esteem because of the comparative mindset, right?
Right.
And so the more you give yourself wins comparing yourself to your previous self, the more that you'll feel capable of being able to handle being around other people who also have value.
Sure.
Even if you might feel like your perception of their value is greater than yours, you'll still feel good about your value, and you'll seek to
Mm.
help them and be of service and provide your value to help them,
Yeah.
you know? And that's why we're able to have conversations for 2-3 hours at a time.
So I just wanted to say one thing about what you said, and then we're going to wrap it up. And this is how I do see the one up situation. And I think this is where you and I see eye to eye. That, like, for me, competition, just if you just say competition, there's a negative connotation to it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, I'm better, you suck, and, I hate you kind of situation,
Yeah.
which is so not the case when it comes to collaboration, where even in collaboration, there's an element of competition, but that friendly competition, or that, like, I do want to one up somebody else, in the sense of I'm just willing to show up every day as a better version of myself every single day. So, and I feel that that helps me be that better father, that better husband, that better entrepreneur, that better whatever, is because I will collaborate with people like you and other people, in the sense of, like, wow, look at Thomas. But in a good way, obviously, in a healthy, I call it the healthy jealousy, or the healthy envy, if you will. Where, wow, look at this individual who's working so hard on himself, who's doing such amazing work, such incredible stuff. I want to one up my life. I'm not saying I'm going to be one upping him and I'm going to be better than him, but rather I'm one upping myself. If I do every step of the way and I grow every day, then I'm one upping towards you. So, like, typically, I was talking to somebody just in the past couple of days where, just because I'm only a couple of levels ahead of you, like I have 2 years extra experience than this other individual, doesn't make me better, doesn't make me anything. I just have 2 years of steps ahead of you, which means that you're going to slowly get there. So in 2 years' time, you're going to be where I am today. And hopefully, if you do more steps than I did, maybe you double up on the steps that I've taken, and you'll be where I am today in a year, and I gave him that element of go compete, like, but in a fun and exciting, in a game type of way.
Yeah. And that's the big thing, the idea of just being 1% better. I've seen enough interactions with people. I've seen enough out there to know that not everyone is choosing to be 1% better. A
Right.
lot of people are setting standards of being, I'm going to be 100% better. I'm going to be
Right.
50%
Right.
better, creating these situations where it's too daunting for them
Sure.
to, to,
Sure.
to, to really understand the effort it takes to be better. But I always
Mm.
ask for 1%. And if you want to translate that into like a real tangible experience, spend 1% of your day developing something about yourself
Mm.
that can
I
increase
love
your
that.
value by 1%. 1% of your day is 15 minutes. That's it.
Wow. That's it.
So now let's take it into a numbers perspective, because I love numbers, right? those who choose not to be better, right? They just kind of go through the motions for an entire year, right? 1 to the power of 365 is 1,
Mm-hmm.
right? 1 to the power of anything is 1.
Mm-hmm.
But if you choose to be 1% better, that's 1.01. You take that and you do that every day. So 1.01 to the power of 365 is 37.
Wow.
So from a math standpoint, you have an opportunity in a year, if you were to consistently just develop yourself to be 1% better every day, you have an opportunity to put yourself in a position that's 37 times better than where you were a year ago.
Mind blowing. Wow.
15 minutes a day. That's it.
Brilliant.
And I know there's people out there who spend more than 15 minutes a day, but
Sure.
I want it for people who are just maybe at the point of like, how do I do this? Where do I
Right.
start? What do I commit to?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Right.
you just commit to 1% of your day to be
Wow.
1% better, and you will
Wow.
see within a year how unrecognizable you will see yourself, but definitely how other people will view you, and it'll happen before the year, you know.
Hey, I'll be satisfied at just being double better than me, like one time more better than me. 37 times. That
Yeah.
is like, whew, that's a blow away. Oh my goodness. That you literally just blew me away just now. Like I did not expect that coming. And you know what? I want to end off on a high note with that being as our crescendo because I need to really take some time to just process that for myself. 37 times better is like, again, I'll just be happy with one time better. Like that's what, if wow.